Hello, this is a video introducing you to policies. If you can see here, there are three types of policies: fiscal policies, monetary policies and supply side policies. Now, all of these policies help the economy to achieve the macroeconomic objectives. So for example, fiscal policies may be put in place to increase economic growth. So the first thing you need to know is that fiscal policies and monetary policies are demand side policies and supply side policies are supply side policies. As I've already said, policies are put in place to help the economy achieve the macroeconomic objectives. Okay, so now we've had an introduction to the different types of policies. Let's focus now on fiscal policy. Fiscal policy is all to do with the government. All the policies are implemented by the government. This includes government revenue, the money the government receives mainly through taxation, and also government spending, otherwise known as government expenditure, what the government actually spends the money on. Now, there's four different types of fiscal policy. The government will either increase tax or decrease tax, increase government spending or decrease government spending. There is expansionary fiscal policy and contractionary fiscal policy. Expansionary fiscal policy is all about increasing aggregate demand, whereas contractionary fiscal policy is about decreasing aggregate demand, AD. Here you have a couple of diagrams. On the left-hand side, here you can see there has been a shift to the right-hand side of AD. So if you remember the components of AD, C plus I plus G plus X take away M, there has either been an increase in consumption, investment, government spending or exports, or a decrease in imports. Okay, so there are two types of expansionary fiscal policy: an increase in government spending or a decrease in taxation. So if the government increases money, for an example, they may increase money on education. This would lead to schools employing more employees. Therefore, households will have an increase in disposable income. Therefore, they have more money, so consumption increases, aggregate demand increases. If you look back at the diagram, it moves from AD to AD1. And as a result, economic growth occurs, which is positive for the economy. And you can see here from Y to Y2, we have actual short-run economic growth. As a result, unemployment decreases because the economy is producing more. Firms need more people to make the products, therefore unemployment decreases. This is a positive thing for the economy. Inflation increases. You can look at the diagram. Inflation increases from P to P1. Is this good or bad? Well, this depends on whether price levels have increased towards the 2% target rate of inflation, which is positive, or whether price levels have increased above the 2% target, which is negative. Price levels increase, as we've just mentioned, from P to P1, which is not good for the current account balance because exports to overseas countries will decrease because products are now more expensive. It is going to be more expensive for firms and consumers from overseas countries to import products from the UK. Therefore, exports goes down. Therefore, the current account balance worsens. Also, it could be argued that the environment may suffer because of the increase in GDP. Okay, now, a decrease in taxation. Households will pay less tax. This is really good because households have an increase in disposable income, and the same flow can be discussed as for the previous example. Okay, Now let's have a look at contractionary fiscal policy. Two types. There can be a decrease in government spending or an increase in taxation. Your student activity is to complete the flow diagram and comment on the impact on economic growth, inflation, unemployment, the current account balance and the environment.